Hey guys, Craig and Quiz, I am back again with another video. In this video I'm actually going to be doing like an in-progress review of Kingdom Come Deliverance. I haven't finished it, I'm about sort of 5 to 6 hours into it. Really enjoying it so far, really enjoying it, and I'm going to be doing like an in-progress review, which is this video, and also like a full final review once I've, you know, completed the largest chunk of the game and most of the main missions and, you know, campaign story mission things. But in the background you're just going to see some exploration gameplay. I didn't really know what to put in the background of it. I figured it should probably be Kingdom Come Deliverance at least. But yeah, this is going to be an in-progress sort of review. What I've found so far, what I've encountered, and what I think of it so far. Because so far it's a really good game, some flaws, and also I'm going to be covering whether or not I think you should buy the game. Or wait for it to be, you know, reduced price or in a sale, or just, you know, wait for like a couple of months maybe, and the game will naturally drop in price. Now, first off, the graphics are amazing. Obviously, the graphics are amazing. I think that's going to be the thing that people will talk about the most in reviews, and talk about the most, well, in my stream when I played it. 6 hours of it. That's what everyone's focusing on, because it's a gorgeous game. It's essentially photorealistic. But the thing I'm going to raise, the point I'm going to raise about the graphics is actually how good it looks on the standard Xbox One and PS4. Now, the powerful consoles, the default consoles, they are powerful and everything, but they're not, nothing. They're not anything to compare to the Xbox One X or the PS4 Pro or high-end PCs. You expect good graphics on high-end PCs and Xbox One X and everything.
How did you get out of Scalise?
You know, I think it's truly impressive how good looking this game looks on the standard Xbox One and the Xbox One X and the PS4 and PS4. I think Slim, whatever it's called. It really does look good, and it runs quite well. I'll cover that a little bit later on, but it runs really well, surprisingly well for how good looking and photorealistic it is. Now, yeah, the frame rate is pretty damn good. I don't think it's like a 60 frames per second type deal on standard Xbox One, PS4. It's, I think, 30, but it's a really smooth and solid 30, if that makes any sense. There's no juddering, there's no like stuttering, or maybe in a couple of places, but there's not much. The frame rate is pretty damn consistent, especially for a game that's just released and that's been made by such a small team. Generally, a small team making a game like this, it would be like 7 frames per second at best. But one thing that really, the main thing that I love about this game the most is the soundtrack. It's phenomenal. It's played with all authentic and historically accurate, instruments that they would have played at the time, and having that instead of like a proper full-blown orchestra or, you know, modern, I nearly said modern weapons, and no, like modern instruments, it just makes it that bit more immersive. It's really good, and it's not tacky or corny. You'd think like medieval music. You'd think, I mean, it's not like workout music, is it? It's not something you'd listen to going for a run. But it's not corny. It's actually, you know, really fitting with the game. It's not boring to listen to. It's not like a pantomime type music. It's really good. It really adds to the overall immersion and atmosphere. And things like, I remember streaming yesterday, and I saw the first sunrise in this game. That was the first time I've seen a sunrise in this game. And there was so many things that made it immersive. One of the things that really made it immersive was the music. It became like uplifting and kind of like optimistic and morning-ish. It really fit the theme of the time of day. It made it feel like the start of a new day. They did such a good job with not only the soundtrack but the audio. And obviously there was like a dawn chorus of all the birds and everything, and it just sounded so good. Like, you got to play this game with a good, you know, quality pair of headphones, or at least on like a good speaker or soundbar or something. It's truly amazing. It's one of the things that you really will appreciate in this game. It's one of my favorite things. It really is. Nighttime, another thing I love in this game. It's incredibly immersive. It's unlike most of the games where the colors, like generally nighttime in most games like Skyrim Special Edition, which generally they just turn up the contrast and sort of sap the color out of stuff to make it appear like it's nighttime. It doesn't actually look like it's nighttime though, it's just because you can see everything still. It just changes the colors. Whereas in this game, you're literally in darkness. It makes you feel as though you're in complete darkness. I was playing when later on in the gameplay, in the background of this video, you'll see, I was in like a completely dark forest, and it feels like you're immersed in a complete pitch black area of darkness. It's really good. Unless you have a torch to see anything, or you know, lanterns, you won't see a single goddamn thing. The sound also really fits. Going back to the sound sort of style and stuff, it really fits with nighttime. It makes it more convincing. The music becomes so subdued and solemn and just hard to hear in places, but intentionally so. You'll hear like a few animal noises, but you won't really hear any civilization, you won't hear any activity, obviously because it's nighttime. It will all simmer down, it will feel properly like nighttime. Or the music will, like I said, sort of switch to sort of chilled out, calm, kind of depressing music to fit the nighttime feel of it, especially if you're wandering through a forest and you only really hear like owls hooting or like crackling of twigs in the forest or like a deer running past or something. It's just really immersive. It's one of the things that you will come to really appreciate about this game. You really will. It sounds like a little thing, but you really, it's so good. They did it so well, and it's so goddamn immersive. Another thing I've found is each settlement I've encountered in this game seems to have its own vibe and its own atmosphere. It's not like Skyrim. Like, there's no two villages or forts that are the same. It isn't like the bandit keeps or forts of Skyrim. Anyone that's watching this video, that you probably played Skyrim. A lot of the bandit keeps and castles that you could find, in the tundra of Whiterun and stuff, they're just duplicates. The architecture, well, they were like straight duplicates. The buildings were. The NPCs were basically the same in every place. The buildings were straight duplicates in most places, and all of the architecture and building layout was basically identical at every single like bandit fort and bandit camp and everything. But in this game, not only does each settlement and location have a life of its own, with unique people, NPCs, and countryside and animals and stuff, most of the places are actually based on real-life locations from the era of the game's setting, which is the early 1400s, and they're recreated in-game with stunning attention to detail. They're about as close to the real place as you could get, with it being, like 700 years ago or something, so yeah, it's pretty damn close, and like I said, everything seems like it's got its own vibe, its own sort of life to it. Every settlement, even the most insignificant. You saw me go past like a little bit of a settlement before, I think. Yeah, I think I've already gone past it in the gameplay. Everything's got its own little life to it. It feels like a real town. It's hard to find that in like Skyrim and stuff, where it just feels like a game. It's just a game, a bunch of game characters wandering around. But in this, truly, you're gonna see me choke this poor fellow out. I don't know why I did this, but yeah, every place seems like it's got its own life to it. Also, the combat. Can't, forget about the combat. The combat is very, very, very hard to get used to. It isn't like Skyrim. I'm making a lot of comparisons to Skyrim right now. Everyone is, so I'm going to do the same. You slash and hack left to right until the enemy is dead. You have to sort of see... in this game, you have to seek to confuse your enemy, string together attacks to keep him off balance, but you also got to keep your guard up. It sounds simple. Like, I can't really put into words how complicated the sword play is, and how hard it is to get used to. I was streaming it to people yesterday when the game came out, and these guys have never played the game before. I just looked like such a moron because I was missing shots and I was getting killed and everything, but truth be told, it's really difficult. It sounds simple when I say it, but it's very hard to grasp at first, and true mastery of the sword play and axe play, I guess you could say, in this game will take at least, I'd say, 15 to 30 hours of gameplay time and practice. With that being said, it's not that it's a bad combat mechanic or anything. It's amazing. It really is. It's just very in-depth and detailed. It's really refreshing to see a game where you're truly equal to the players and the enemies that you fight. Not like Assassin's Creed where you just hold the right trigger, press X, and it counter-kills them automatically. Type of thing, like Assassin's Creed 4, that's how it was. Basically, in every Assassin's Creed, that's how it is. In this game, you're truly equal. With everything you come across and everything you fight, you are truly, truly equal. Even if you have good armor, like fighting even 2 enemies alone, if you're outnumbered even by just 1 enemy, it's going to be really difficult. Even at the near end game, covered in plate armor and stuff, I can imagine that it's still going to be pretty damn difficult to even beat 1. If you're outnumbered by, 1 person, it's still going to be pretty damn difficult, even if they haven't got good weapons or armor. And I really like that, because that's realistic. I've wanted a game like this for a long time now, actually. It's realistic in terms of, like, combat and stuff. You don't get handed a weapon in this game or armor right off the bat. The game kind of makes you work for it. I like this because you truly appreciate every, the first iron axe that you loot from a dead bandit that you whack, or a vagabond, or maybe just some guy that you choke out like I did a little bit earlier on in the gameplay. It makes every weapon seem significant and special. A lot of RPGs, a lot of games, they give you a weapon. Skyrim, for example, when you're in Helgen, they give you a weapon like 10 minutes into the mission, which is cool. It, makes for action, I guess. It makes it kind of action-packed, but at the same time, the problem with that is you don't appreciate it. You get a sword, oh, it's just an empty thing. I'll just get a sword, get another one, kill another guy, get a different weapon, type of thing. But if it was real life, I feel like the way it is in Kingdom Come Deliverance, that's accurate. If it was real life, swords and axes wouldn't just be lying around for you to take them. They wouldn't just be on, a random dead body in the wilderness. They'd have value to them in the same way that guns, you can't just go out and get a gun you know, randomly walk outside, find a gun on the floor on its own. Yeah, there's value to, you know, the weapons, and that's how it would have been. I really like that they've done that in this game as well, so you really appreciate it. Makes it worthwhile. You really appreciate when you get weapons. It's really cool. The world is truly open. There are no boundaries or barriers in this game. If you can see it, you can pretty much go there. When I was trying to record the gameplay in the background of this video, I did fall down a ledge or a hill, very much like the one I'm walking down right now. Very dangerous doing that, but essentially if you're careful you can basically go anywhere, especially if you have a horse. The horses aren't like anti-gravity like they were in Skyrim, but they're still quite useful. And you can murder deer like I just did. The point is, if you can see a part in the world, you can go there. A lot of open world games, not Skyrim, but you know, a lot of RPGs and open world games, they show you a part of, you know, the world that you can't actually get to. It's just a background image. It's, you know, a copy and pasted wallpaper essentially. This really makes the game feel like a, you know, living, breathing world, having this open place that you can go to, you know, wherever you can go, wherever, basically. The game doesn't hold your hand. I really love this. It doesn't hold your hand in the story. It literally just drops you in the middle of the world and gives you a quest. It really tells you how to do it or where exactly to do it. You just gotta figure it out. If you've watched my stream, I've done one, I think, like 5-hour stream in this game, and it forces you to just figure it out. There's no other option for it. It forces you to figure it out yourself and use your intuition. I really like that. It also makes the branching storylines and multiple quest endings even more enjoyable, because you get to those parts of the quest via your own decisions and your own, you know, initiative, and not through the game just giving you an arrow above someone and telling you to go there. By the way, they don't do that like they do in Skyrim. You're gonna have to find people, again, through your own initiative. The character customization is really interesting as well. You don't get a menu to change your face and decide what sort of, well, what the history of your character is. Rather, you're given like a blank canvas, and each dialogue option and quest choice you make will influence your character's personality and how other characters view it in the future. Now, a few negative points. These are negative points, the only ones I've encountered so far. I did encounter some pretty serious stuttering and just crashing after leaving the first gameplay area, the first down, no spoilers, but after leaving the first place. Especially when travelling fast on horseback. The faster I was going, the game, you know, just got more stuttery. Kind of bad, kind of crappy. It even full-on crashed for a few seconds in certain places. The start of the game is also very daunting. It's quite hard to grasp at first. It's kind of frustrating because once you get used to the game and the gameplay mechanics, the fight mechanics, the lockpick, oh god, the lockpicking is a nightmare to figure out. Once you get used to the know, I think you will grow to appreciate this level of realism, immersion, as opposed to hate it, which you might do at the first 10 minutes of gameplay, for example. Some of the cutscenes are a bit glitchy. Sometimes you'll end up looking at character's face, or instead of looking at character's face that you're supposed to be looking at, you'll end up looking at a wall or a ceiling or a rock behind them or something. The camera angles can be a little bit glitchy at times, or sometimes you'll just get sort of Assassin's Creed Unity mode where you can see inside of people's faces, kind of like Assassin's Creed Unity's bugs when the game came out day one. That being said, none of these things are serious. They're all things that can be easily fixed in a patch, and they probably will be. This development team seems really good at giving us what we want and doing, trying to keep the player base happy already. So I think they are going to patch it. I think they are going to change these things, and those are the only negative things I've found so far, which is really surprising and really impressive. For such a, there's only been like 30 people in their team that made this game, so it's really surprising that they did such a fine job. And yeah, like I said, any little issues that anyone comes across now, they will be fixed pretty damn soon in the next patch. There's no major game-breaking issues or anything that's going to ruin the story for you. Anyway, that's going to do it for my review. Like I said, I will do a full-on review at some point. Hope this was helpful. Hopefully, well, personally, I'd go with the game. I would definitely buy the game. I think it's worth the full price. Definitely. So many games out there, cost like £60 or $60 or whatever. They're not worth it a lot of the time, but this one definitely is. And one of the developers said that the campaign is actually a 100-hour campaign, so definitely get on that. It's definitely worth $60 or £60, so definitely get on it. I think it's worth buying it now, because, it's just really worth buying. It's such a good game. I'm only in like 7 hours, 6 hours into it, and I already love it. I know it's going to heat up, and there's going to be even more action in the future in the game, so definitely get it. It's a very, very good game in my opinion. Definitely a buy for me. Anyway, hope this video helped. If it did, leave a like, helps me out a lot. If you want to see any more of my videos or see me do a full playthrough of this game via live streams on YouTube, definitely subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next